All right, here we go. Let me start with a question. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have the ability to overcome adversity, no matter what it is? I mean, we all know somebody, right? That certain someone that you'd say, man, I sure wish I could be as strong as you are. If you'll stick with me for the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you 3 strengths that everyone must either have as one of their core or outer core strengths, or they must develop if it is one of their neutral or their lesser strengths. Hello, my name is Mark Mascola. I want to welcome you to More Powerful Me, the Self-Mastery Podcast on Motivation Monday. Today, the title of today's session is Awaken Your Hidden Strengths. Awaken your hidden strength today. Yeah, I'm going to give you, again, 3 strengths that you either have or you can develop. You know, the greatest wisdom is to truly know oneself. That's why I call this the More Powerful Me Self-Mastery Podcast, because the whole game is about mastering self. You don't master things by accident. You master them by intent. You master things you choose to master. And in a world full of mediocre, be a master. Master yourself. When I talk about the 8 key areas that every person must master, number 1 is personal growth. And now listen, this has nothing to do with a positive mindset or any of that crap around the law of attraction. Personal growth is about understanding and discovering, understanding, and implementing your God-given potential, your strengths, your values, the things that are powerful in your unique personality. So again, in a world of mediocre, we want to start number 1, mastering self, because we will never master our finances, our physical health. We'll never master relationships, communication, all of those things. They are second until we get on a path of personal growth and the path of self-mastery. So again, I want to welcome you to Motivation Monday. Go to www.morepowerfulme.com. I'm going to give you this is what we're going to talk about. And this is something that Ashley and I discovered about ourselves well over a couple of decades ago, when we knew that God put us on this earth and joined our 2 broken roads so we can share this stuff. It's about understanding. It's not about figuring out what's wrong with you. It's about figuring out what is right with you and doing more of it. So www.morepowerfulme.com, you can go get the free guide to self-mastery. I call it the free guide to understanding your character strengths. Core is the definition of core is the central and most important part of something. And when I talk about, the title of today's session, Awakening Your Inner Strengths. This is about awakening things that are in you. God that either gave them to you and you're really, really good at them, or God gave them to you and you need to develop them. But the whole game is about self-mastery. So go get your hands on that freebie. And you can learn more about, who you are and your strengths and how it relates to today's topic. So those of you who have heard my story, right? You've heard me talk about staring down addiction and divorce and bankruptcy and a cancer diagnosis several years back, and I've stared them all down. When I went and understood my core and outer core strengths, the things that God gave me that I'm really good at, mental toughness, resilience, and those are some of the things I'm going to talk about today. 3 of the strengths that I'm going to share with you, I'm grateful that these are part of my core and outer core strengths, but that doesn't mean I have them and don't have to work on them. So I'm going to share with you 3 character strengths that you either need to have or you need to develop, and you can figure out whether you've got them if you go do get this guide. Again, www.morepowerfulme.com. So character strength number 1, the character strength of courage. Definition of courage is the strength in the face of fear. Courage is like a muscle. You're not born with it. You have to develop it. You don't just have courage. You have courage. If you look at where you would rank yourself on a scale of 0 to 4 on the courage meter, where are you? I doubt you have none, but if you're struggling, you may put 0 or 1. But here's what you have to understand about courage. You don't have courage when you avoid situations. You don't have courage by avoiding situations. I had a guy I worked with years ago who, was struggling with panic disorder. He would just absolutely go in, as crazy as it is. It was something that he dealt with because of addiction. And let me put both hands in the air. I dealt with it as well. But he was terrified to go to the convenience store. And so he and I worked out a little system where, the first couple of days, he just got in his car and drove around the block. Next couple of days, he drove around the convenience store. The next couple of days, he'd pull in the parking lot and pull into a parking place and sit for, 2 minutes or so. And over a series of doing this for a couple of weeks, he quit avoiding the thing that he was most terrified of. And then he realized he had no idea why he was terrified of it. But he quit avoiding it, and he took some baby steps and more baby steps and some more baby steps. And eventually, now today, it's just not a big deal anymore. But he was not going to fix the very problem he had by avoiding the problem. So, again, that's something I dealt with and was able to share with him through experience. So character strength number one is the strength of courage. You either have it, as one of your outer core strengths, or it's one of your neutral or lesser strengths. And we all are somewhere different. God made each of us unique. So we're all somewhere different on the scale of where we are with these things. Some people have them, some people need to develop them. So character strength number 2 is the strength of resilience, the bounce back effect, right? The ability to recover quickly from adversity. The first thing that you have to understand about having resilience is to understand that adversity is one of life's greatest teachers. You're not going to go through life void of adversity. Getting where you want in life is about having a vision and then putting together an action plan and understanding that there is an enemy that wants you to keep you from, number one, discovering how powerful God created you to be and to become, but ultimately wants you to be a quitter and not discover that God created you with and for a purpose. So, adversity is one of life's greatest teachers. You won't go through life void of it. Here's something else you have to understand. We just talked about courage, right? You won't be resilient until you start developing a little bit of courage. Getting knocked on your backside means I don't care how many times I get knocked down, I'm going to get back up, right? That's resilience. One of the things that I learned that really helped me is when I use the phrase adversity is one of life's greatest teachers, when I'm going through an adversity, I always ask myself the question, what is the lesson that I need to learn here? Because it's all about learning a lesson. And then I ask myself the question, has anyone else ever been through this? And if they have, and they won, why can't I? And if they haven't, which really, is there an adversity that nobody has ever overcome? But if there is, by some chance, why can't you be the first, right? Courage and resilience are number 1 and 2, but they're not the primary one in the conversation today. The most important one is the last one, the character strength of optimism. Definition of optimism is the belief in positive outcomes. Definition of belief is the acceptance or state of mind that something is true. Optimism is a spiritual strength that we must develop. Believing in a higher power, I just mentioned that. I choose to call my higher power God. Number 1, I believe that I am not that power. I look outside today and I look at the river and I look at the trees and the grass and all the stuff that's going on out there. I understand a power greater than me created that. So I'm not that power. But I also understand that I'm part of that power. Because when God created man and woman on that 6th day, we were created in his image and in his likeness. Optimism, belief in a higher power, belief that higher power put you here with and for a purpose. Most people think about optimism. They think, are you a glass half full, glass half empty person? That's limited thinking, because in God's world, what I've understood is it's not whether the glass is half full or half empty and how I see it, because that's all based on perspective. I understand in God's world, the glass is always refillable. When I have the belief that I have a higher power and that higher power has me here with and for a purpose, the glass is always refillable, and I never have the limited thinking that there is only one glass. In God's world, there's multiple glasses. So again, the three strengths: courage, resilience, and optimism. If you'll work on those three things, I can promise you it will help you awaken the strength that's in you to overcome any adversity. You'll hear it all the time. You don't know how strong you are until courage is all you got, right? You never realize how courageous you are and how strong you are and how resilient you are until that's all you got. So, again, discover your character strengths. Go get the free guide at www.morepowerfulme.com. And it will have you affirming, just like Ashley and I do every single day, I'm a more powerful me. We are more powerful us because of our most powerful God. Till next time, go be the best and most powerful version of you. This is Mark signing off for More Powerful Me, the Self-Mastery Podcast on Motivation Monday. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. You absolutely deserve it. Bye for now.